The issues they mentioned are not new. We already know what's going wrong in the country. The poverty, insecurity, the weak democratic structures we are facing in the country. So they are pointing out that too many Nigerians are still living below the poverty line, struggling daily to feed their families, and also insecurity, people dying, people being killed every day, kidnapping going on in the country, banditries working freely. And so these are what they are calling out the government to ensure that they look into this, and so people can be happy celebrating the independence. Okay, so moving on, Tinubu Ododo mourn as victims of Kogi boat mishap rise to 26. Tinubu Ododo mourn as victims of Kogi boat mishap rise to 26. And we are live on YouTube. Yes, we are live on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, share the video for others to be part of the program. Yes, the channel is High Voltage News. Okay, so moving on, we see Dangote's rift with Pengassan unfortunate, says man. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, they've stepped in to say that the dispute between Dangote Refinery and the Oil Workers Union, Pengassan, is very unfortunate. Why? Because when big industries clash with unions, it doesn't just affect the workers, it affects the whole economy, it affects the citizens, it affects everyone in the country, the rich, the poor, wherever you are. It affects everybody. So the refineries that produce this fuel, the gas, the energy that industries depend on, if they keep going on strike at every slightest opportunity, it's going to affect every one of us. So it's something that they need to be looking into and ensure that they resolve their disputes with dialogue instead of going straight to strike and all that. So next we see probe plots to flex Osun local government areas of 12.75 billion naira. Probe plots to fleece Osun local government of 12.75 billion naira. PDP tells IGP and EFCC. So the opposition party, PDP, is raising alarm. They claim there's a plot to divert or misappropriate over 12 billion naira belonging to local governments in Osun State. We've been having this story. They've been going to court and all that over the months. They've been going to court. So this, the PDP is calling on the Inspector General of Police and the EFCC to step in and probe the matter before the money disappears. 12 billion naira is a big money that should not be overlooked. So the EFCC, the IGP, they need to look into the matter and ensure that things are handled appropriately. Yes, moving on. On the Guardian newspaper, let's see if there's more. All right, so that's what we have on the Guardian newspaper. And next, on the Punch newspaper, NNPC laments losses as union halts action. NNPC laments losses as union halts action. So the strike by the Pengassan, the Petroleum Workers Union, had shaken the oil sector. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, says that it has suffered major losses. So according to the report, crude oil output fell by 16% and gas supply dropped by 30% during the strike. So government officials are warning that all this continued industrial action could destabilize the economy. All right, next, Nigeria at 65. Tinubu's reforms yet to ease hardship. Tinubu's reforms yet to ease hardship. So the experts are saying Nigerians are not yet feeling relief from President Tinubu's reforms. And in Nigeria, we do not need the experts to tell us that we are not yet feeling the relief. We as individuals, we already know that yes, we've not seen the impact of the reforms by the president. Although he made a speech yesterday that the worst is over, and that Nigeria should look forward to a better country. So we are looking, we are hoping that things work out very soon for the Nigerian out there, for the average Nigerian, that things start working out, that people are able to fend for themselves, that people are able to survive and have what it takes to feed, to send their children to school, to support themselves. Next, we see one doctor attends to 9,083 Nigerians. One doctor attends to 9,083 Nigerians. NARD laments. So this statistics is coming from the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors. And they reveal that the doctor to patient ratio is alarmingly poor, like it's very poor. Imagine one person treating over 9,000 patients. That means everyone will have to die before it gets to your turn. So it's a really, doctors needs to be recruited. They need to recruit doctors. They need to make things easy for the patients there. So one doctor to 9,000 patients that's too much. That's a lot. That's a lot for one person to handle. So we see why hospitals are overcrowded. We see why some people, though it does not justify the fact that some people are being neglected, but we see the reasons why these things keep happening. So hospitals crowded and there's nobody to attend to them because it's just one person to 9,000 patients. So the government needs to step in, because one of the period they went on strike, one of their requirements was to recruit nurses, to recruit midwives, to recruit doctors, send them to hospitals, because a lot of doctors are traveling out. So we have less people attending to patients in Nigeria. So the government needs to fix this. They need to fix this, because people go to hospital and when they are being neglected, it leads to people are dying as a result of negligence in these hospitals. So they need to look into it and fix all the problems going wrong there. Next, we see 853 billion naira crime proceeds recovered in 1 year. EFCC says that 853 billion naira crime proceeds recovered in 1 year. And next, Nigerians languish in prison after Ethiopia stalls MOU. Nigerians languish in prisons after Ethiopia stalls MOU. So the MOU was supposed to allow Nigerians convicted in Ethiopia to serve their sentences back home, back in Nigeria, or at least receive consular access. But since it's not working, many are languishing in foreign jails without support. Next, we see Kogi boat crash. Death toll hits 26. Death toll hits 26 Tinubu months. From what we also saw on the Guardian newspaper, Punch, they are covering the tragic boat accident in Kogi State with the updated death toll of 26. So President Tinubu has sent his condolences to families, but safety has to come in. This safety awareness, they have to ensure that people are protected before you enter the boat. Wear a life jacket. Protect yourself. Do something so that we don't keep hearing stories of a boat mishap and then people drowning. And as Nigeria's 8-month debt service bill, it's $2.86 billion. CBN says that Nigeria's 8-month debt service bill is 2.86 billion naira. And still on the Punch newspaper, Nigerian arrested for attempted trafficking of daughter to Iraq. Nigerian arrested for attempted trafficking of daughter to Iraq. Wale Tinubu backs Africa Energy Award in South Africa. Wale Tinubu, a businessman in the oil and gas industry, has received an award in South Africa for his contribution to energy development across Africa. So moving on to the nation's newspaper, governors renew pledge to speed up development in states. Governors renew pledge to speed up development in states. So the governors across Nigeria, they use the Independence Day to promise once again that they will drive development in their states. They talk about improving roads, healthcare, education, and job creation. But many citizens are skeptical. Like we've heard these promises every year. We've heard the question is, will those pledges finally be matched with action and visible projects? All right, next we see Pengassan fears collapse of deal with Dangote refinery. Pengassan fears collapse of deal with Dangote refinery. Anyanwu voice Damagun's suspension of Akwa Ibom PDP ESCO. Anyanwu voice Damagun's suspension of Akwa Ibom PDP ESCO. And next, 26 again, we see that 26 die in Kogi boat accident. 26 die in Kogi boat accident. So the nation, they've also confirmed that this 26 people died in Kogi boat accident. It is a very sad story. And lastly, on the Nation newspaper, Soyinka, why I accepted renaming of National Arts Theatre after me. And that's what we have on the Nation newspaper. Moving on to This Day newspaper, 2027. I am willing to step aside for a younger, more vibrant candidate, Atiku. The former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, is a constant face in Nigeria's presidential elections since 1999. It's a constant. So he's saying that something many people may not have expected. So he has hinted that by 2027, he may be ready to step down or step aside and allow a younger, a more vibrant candidate to take the stage. So Atiku is one of Nigeria's most persistent politicians. We've seen him over the years. All the elections since 1999, he keeps coming out to contest. So he keeps coming out. But this statement shows a shift in the tone. So when a younger person that he sees as vibrant and capable comes out to run for the presidential election, he's going to step aside for that person. Well, we are going to watch and see if it's going to happen. If because of course Nigeria already has strong and young, vibrant people. They have them. So it's just about one person being bold enough to come out for the election. All right, next we see NAPTIP arrest father for attempted trafficking of daughter at Abuja Airport. NAPTIP arrest father for attempted trafficking of daughter at Abuja Airport. And next, Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Diaspora investors demand truth, justice, and accountability. Mba urges optimism, unity, says end will vindicate Tinubu's economic policies. Governor Peter Mba urges optimism, unity, and says that end will vindicate Tinubu's economic policies. And again, we see SSANU threatens fresh action over withheld salaries and unfulfilled agreements. That is the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities. They are threatening fresh actions of strike over withheld salaries and unfulfilled agreements. And lastly, we see 10 years of Mahmood Yakubu at INEC. 10 years of Mahmood Yakubu at INEC. And that is what we have this morning on the newspaper headline. And remember that if you have any comment, if you have any opinion to make on the newspaper headlines that has been read to you so far. You can call in to the studio on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Call us and tell us what you think about all that we've said so far. And also, we are live on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, comment, and share the video for others to be part of the conversation. All right, today we are looking at some of the things that are trending in Nigeria. And some of them we've already seen in the newspaper headline, but we are moving deep into them. And on the list of what is trending, we have Pengassan and Dangote Refinery. So the Pengassan, the Oil Workers Union, and Dangote Refinery have had a dispute. And this dispute could have affected every single Nigerian if it was not quickly settled. Let's dig in. The thing about the economy is that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, rich or poor, whether you are in another different states, whether you are the wealthiest or the poorest, once it's about economy, you feel it. You feel it when the economy shakes. So for some days, Pengassan, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, had a clash with Dangote Refinery. And what caused it? Report says that more than 800 workers were suddenly laid off because they joined the union. So Pengassan said that it was unfair. That it was unfair to sack more than over 800 people because they chose the union that they wanted to join. That it was so unfair to sack them. And as a result of that, they made a statement that they're going to shut down the Dangote Refinery, and they stopped distributing fuel to Dangote Refinery. So this caused a lot of stuff in Nigeria, which made the federal government to step in. Because the Dangote Refinery that is supposed to be Nigeria's solution, yes, from what they said, it's supposed to be, it was commissioned with fanfare, described as a project that would end fuel importation. So Nigerians hoped it would bring down the pump prices, stabilize the supply, and create jobs. But here we are less than 2 years later, and already we are seeing labor battles. If it's not Nupeng and Dangote, it's Pengassan and Dangote. So there's a lot of fight in the oil sector. Fight between the management and the federal government. Fight between employees, workers, and of the union and other organizations. So this is not new in Nigeria at all. This is not new. Back in the days, 1990s, we've seen Pengassan and Nupeng regularly shutting down. So they shut down oil production when wages or conditions were poor. In the early 2000s as well, the oil strikes crippled the economy for days. And just last year, we saw unions threatening to shut down over the subsidy removal. So this battle fits a pattern is a labor management, workers, employers. Now coming from the Dangote angle, Dangote is not just another businessman. His refinery is massive, 650,000 barrels per day. That's almost double Nigerians' daily petrol consumption. So if this refinery sneezes, Nigeria catches a cold, just a sneeze from Dangote Refinery. It looks like a lot is going to go wrong. So that's how central it is. That's how central it is. So when Pengassan said that we will shut it down, the government really needed to step in, and they did step in. They had meetings, the meetings that started 2 days ago. They held meeting 2 days ago. They held meeting yesterday. There wasn't any, they didn't resolve as at 2 days ago, but yesterday we got reports that they've resolved the whole matter. They've come to an agreement. They've come to an agreement where Pengassan called off the strike. And Dangote said that they will bring back the 800 workers that they sacked, the 800 workers that they sacked, that they will bring them back. But then the issue is that they are not bringing them back to Dangote Refinery. They are bringing them down back to other sectors of the company. We have the sugar, the cement. So these are the other sectors that are taking them back, but not the Dangote Refinery, not the oil sector. Now, some people say it's a win-win for both parties, for Pengassan and for Dangote. Meanwhile, some people say that Dangote won the fight. Because when you remove the 800 workers that you sacked from the refinery and put them in other sectors, does Pengassan still have any rights on those workers since they are no longer in the refinery? Pengassan, do they have any right on them anymore? Because when you've removed them from the refinery and put them in the cement sector, the sugar factory, and other factories, we have the food. So what do you have to say about that? Because at this point, if they wake up another day, if they wake up tomorrow and decide that, okay, these ones are no longer, since they're no longer under the refinery, they're in other sectors, they wake up and decide, I can sack these 800 people that I just called back. I can sack them because they are not under Pengassan anymore. So that's why people are saying Dangote won the fight and is not a win-win for both parties. But the issue we have here is that these all strike things and all that, they should think about the individuals. They should think about the citizens before they start rushing to go into strike. I mean, this could have just sat down to deliberate. We could have just sat down to talk about this issue and not just rush into strike actions and all that. So is this a power tussle, or they're trying to claim like who is bigger? Who is bigger? Who is the biggest? Who can win the fight? Meanwhile, when two elephants are fighting, it is the ground that is suffering the whole thing. So when two big organizations that the country depends on, when they are fighting, the citizens are the ones suffering. But we are glad that the strike has been suspended from what they said. It has been suspended and it can be called back if Dangote does not meet his own bargain. If Dangote does not call back the staff, they will continue the strike. But we are glad that the federal government stepped in. We are glad that they stepped in and handled this. So the thing is, we are not sure. We are like with the truth old. Are they just buying more time for another clash? Are they buying more time? And that is what, moving on for another on the list of what's trending, we see Fubara sacks commissioners. Fubara sacks commissioner, that's what's next. And let's head to Rivers State, because the politics in Rivers State is never quiet. It's always... So Governor Fubara just dissolved his cabinet. He dissolved his cabinet. Several commissioners were out. So this came right after the Supreme Court ruled that the rival House of Assembly faction in Rivers State was not valid. So let's go back to when Fubara became governor in 2023. It was thanks to the political strength of Nyesom Wike, the former governor and current FCT minister. But almost immediately things fell apart. Wike wanted control. Fubara wanted independence. The fight got so bad that the state assembly split into two factions. one loyal to Wike and the other loyal to Fubara. So the battle has been going on for more than a year. The battle with the court cases, the impeachment threats, the constant drama, the suspension, the 6 month suspension that just happened, and it was called back just last month. So now the Supreme Court has spoken. It said that the other faction that is loyal to Fubara is not recognized. And these are the Fubara, the one that Fubara sacked is loyalists. He sacked his loyalists and is trying to hold on to what the Supreme Court said. So two factions, your loyalist and the loyalist to Wike. And the one that is currently standing is the one for Wike, while the one for that is loyal to him has been sacked. So now it raises questions. It raises question like, is he doing it? Like, is Fubara under, like, does he feel oppressed to do some certain things, to take some certain action, to make decision in the state? With the suspension back, with him coming back to office, is he under the influence of Wike, or is he standing independently? Is he doing things on his own? So these are the things people are asking, like the decisions he's making. Is it just by he has sat down to think about this and okay, it feels that this is the right thing to do in the state? Or is he doing it to avoid more conflict, to avoid more war in the state? Because we look at Rivers State, we see that we over the years there's been fights, political fights. We see in 2000s Odili and Amaechi. We see the one of Amaechi and Wike, and now Wike and Fubara. And we're asking, when will all this end? All this godfatherism in politics, when is it going to end? So that when someone becomes the governor of a state, when someone becomes the president of a country, the person can sit with his members and make decisions and not being imposed by any godfather. Because there are so many, this godfatherism, there's a lot of influence it has on the sitting governors, on the sitting all the political office holders. You see those in the local governments. You see those in the federal state, in the federal level, in the state level. They have one or two persons telling them what to do. And if you don't do it, it leads to fight. It leads to, they start fighting you. They start looking for someone to, ways to impeach you. They start looking for things to say against you and taking you to court and all that. So there's a lot of fights that this godfatherism in the country needs to be looked into, and it needs to be dealt with. Because we need to know these decisions people are making, is it based on their capability, or is it an external influence? Is there an external force somewhere telling them what to do, telling them how to run the government, telling them how to run how to run their states, how to run the sector, the council where they are? Because this is like history repeating itself. Every governor seems to end up fighting their predecessor. Every governor. So this move by Fubara, by sacking his commissioner, was it the right move? Did he make this? Was it a smart move? Did he make the right move, or is it just another distraction? So let me hear from you. The phone lines are open on 0706 048 5853. Let me take that again, 0706 048 5853. Or you can call us on 0915 570 8347. Let us know what you think about the issues, the headlines that we read, the issues with Penkasan and Dangote, the issues in Rivers State with Fubara and sacking his commissioners. Let's know what you think about that. And next on was trending, we are talking about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has said that he may not contest in 2027. So he's hoping to step in aside for a younger and more vibrant candidate. And before we continue with this, let's take our first call for today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. Your name and your location.
My name is James. I'm calling from UPS.
All right, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to put my sense on that. This is why you think that well that we solve. That I want to put now.
Okay.
All these things we solve. We remember that time they're saying like we want like you not to do it.
Mm.
When that individual that we want that solve, that's when all these things we solve.
Okay.
Like for my own opinion,
Mm.
that's what I.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. And you too can join the conversation on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Or you can leave a comment on our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Yes, so we were talking about before the call came in. We want to go on another trending issue that came out. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who says that he will give room for a more vibrant, younger politician that comes out for 2027 presidency. So this is huge because Atiku has been contesting for president for more than 2 decades. He has been contesting for presidency for more than 2 decades in the 1990s under SDP, in 2007 under AC, in 2011 under PDP, and again against Buhari he contested, and against Tinubu Atiku contested. So he is a definition of persistence. Like he's so persistent in this. He really wants to rule Nigeria. He really wants to be the president of Nigeria. But yet today he said that he will step down if he sees a more vibrant, younger person coming out for the presidency. We'll take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You are welcome. Please, your name and your location.
My name is Hassan Manuel. I'm calling from UK.
All right. All right. Please go ahead.
You see, Atiku has been too desperate to become Nigeria president.
Okay. Mm.
And anything you are doing in this life and you are too desperate about it, I think you always find it difficult to get.
Okay. Mm.
And I think he has had to rethink things that people have lost interest, most especially those his brother from the north.
Mm.
And the person who gave him this advice, if it's true, if he really meant what he's saying,
Okay.
I think he's a very good one.
Okay.
Because if not for how he obstructed people, the that have worked collectively in 2023,
Mm.
that succeeded in winning the presidential election.
Okay.
But because he did not, and was trying every possible means for him to become the president, and that is the reason why both of them lost it. If he has made up his mind to give a chance for another person to try, it's a very welcome development, and I compliment him on that.
Okay.
And talking about the issue between the Penkasan and Dangote and whatever, I will tell you that there's no difference between federal government in terms of petroleum and Dangote. You see, this Dangote thing is created by, like I say, the help of federal government to always make Nigeria feel that they are best, they are giving us enough. And when we try more personal or individual industry like that, then we will see that their own is more better. Dangote is one of our food and most very good. And the earlier we realize the better for the federal government has what it takes to build refinery and produce oil in large quantities that will help
Without a private.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
But
continue.
because of their personal interest and they always want to get things without minding what the pharmacist will go to or suffer, they will always try to create another means to make the pharmacist feel that they are doing their best and their best is enough. And coming to River State, they always say that a fight that you cannot win is better you don't fight it.
Okay.
Kubara know that he will be loyal to
Wiki.
and he did not do it at the first time. It is now that he has already lost the fight, that now they have reduced his power. And I can tell you that local government chairman is more powerful than Kubara now in River State. Yes.
And most of them are APC members.
What do you say?
I said most of them are APC members.
Yes, and most of them are APC member, majority of them.
Yes.
So as stands so now, it does not have any single power. The incumbent governor of the River State, elected governor, is being controlled by the House of Assembly member, the minister, the FT minister, and even all, in fact, local government chairman who are really to wicked that controls him, does not have the power to control. So what I'm saying in that essence is this. For any person who is fighting a fight, to make sure that he's ready and willing to give anything to make sure he wins the fight.
Okay.
So for him to whatever he will do to sustain his seat as the governor, go ahead and do it. That's really that and give to him now.
Okay.
But as it stands, he does not have any option to give us it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in. All right, so you too can be part of the conversation. 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Let's know what you think about the Pengassan and the Dangote rifts, and also about Fubara sacking his commissioners in Rivers State. What do you think about the whole issue? And also the last caller said that if that it doesn't look like he has a lot of choice but to align to what Wike wants in Rivers State. Well, that's when you can't win, you have to just join them. When you can't win the battle, join them. All right, so that's we are talking about Atiku Abubakar. We also want to hear what you think about it. We've known Atiku to be someone that has always contested for elections. He has always contested for elections, and currently is telling us that he will give way once he sees a vibrant young person contesting for presidency in 2027. And I'm asking this morning, is it that we do not already have young, vibrant people in different parties in the country? Because I have a feeling, I believe we do have young people that are so vibrant that can contest for 2027 election. So, or as is it that he has not yet seen anybody? Because I believe there are so many of them in the country. There are so many of them in the country. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes, good morning. You are welcome.
I am Pastor Chim for one day.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay.
About to comment on the issue of River State governor, right, Hashimu's position. I would say that he has no power.
Okay.
His power has been
trampled upon.
Because a lot of things are involved now. He's alleged to Wike is in control. As of as he has gotten more power. And look at the thing, he cannot say much to them because he's not in control of them.
Yes.
So we should have at the first initial stage, allowing Wike. Then when it comes to second term,
okay, you can now decide.
Then they discuss for five because it's not for the party again. Well, I think I don't think he will come for second term because Wike is already planned. See what he's doing in PDP, one leg in PDP, one leg in PDP. So the governor, I don't think he has much power to control it as a but he says we pray for him. Then the second one is talking about our refinery. Our refinery. What is holding our refinery to working? This is the question. What is holding it working? You see? So the physical elite, the cabals are still not in bondage. What does it take to fix Kaduna, fix Port Harcourt?
Yes.
What does it take? What does it take? Does it take a human hair? The labor of human hair. The labor that we need to give our head. Let's see if Nigeria is better. But the political elite, one person can save 8 trillion. One person can buy $3 trillion house that you look like the one they are busy with up now. You see, and then to do the needful. That is the problem we have. That is that they want to buy that and trust that service. If it is me, I will be back on staff. They are not that is my property. When we are saying we took that was how many years to build that kind of refinery? One of the best in West Africa. So the problem is Nigeria, the political elites have given up. They have no vision. They have no vision. Only market money. You see, why is the governor of the state? What has done to him? Again, is I want to let you know.
Yes.
That the vice president better sit down. You know, I don't know whether they go in political or not. I don't see anything political. They don't have brain to think. He could have aligned in 2023.
Okay.
Align with him, align with the people, and get the mantle. You see, now they have lost. Now he's making this guy. I don't believe him. He might do what he did again.
Okay.
I only pray that God will deliver us to hand of the wicked men. All in Nigeria in Sunday. In Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. All right, we are calling on the federal government to do something about the refineries, because it looks like it's one union with Dangote. It's always Dangote since like Dangote is now the savior of Nigeria oil sector. So they need to do something. There are lots of refineries that needs rehabilitation, that needs maintenance. Why is it that the federal government cannot take up this and ensure that there's proper supply of fuel to all the people in Nigeria, to what we need? I mean, this is what is in the country. The country is rich in oil. So why is it a problem? Why do we still have to suffer? Why do you still have to import oil? So there are a lot of things that are going wrong in the country that the federal government needs to sit up and handle these situations. One person goes on strike, it affects the whole nation. One single person. So it's something they really need to look into. They really need to look into it and ensure that things are going the right way, the way it should go. So today we've looked at the stories. We've looked at Pengassan, we've looked at Dangote issue, we've looked at River State. We've looked at Atiku Abubakar's statement. So these are the things. It touches on economy, it touches on governance and the future of our democracy. So things should be done properly in the country, honestly. So the bigger question is, will these stories lead to real progress? Or are they just another cycle of drama without any change? We just keep hearing, keeps making headlines and different things coming out. And at the end of it, there's no positive change coming from all this. So thank you for staying with us this morning. Thank you for staying with us. This is High Voltage, your weekday news analysis show. Join us again tomorrow for more headlines, for more analysis, and more of your voices. Till then, stay safe and keep your voltage high. My name is Odeline. Have a beautiful day ahead.